Testing. All right, ready? We're missing anybody today? Ready, begin. Hup. Turn. Turn. Go. And close. So you're ready for a vaccine shot with the with your sleeve rolled up. Yeah. I'll get one Friday. Yeah. So actually, CVS has a lot of. If you go on at midnight, you can try to grab one. No, midnight any night. Oh. They allow, yeah. So yeah, the pre-register. If you pre-register, then they'll let you know, like Gillette, what's Rockaway Crossing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but you'd either go to Gillette, Fenway Park, or there's like 6 sites that you could go to for those, and those are the state ones. But if you want the CVS ones, if you go at midnight, there's usually a block of times that you can select from, and they're pretty good. The last few nights, there's been openings throughout. Uh, you can try. You can just try. Because if you book a time and it's after that date, it might not be tomorrow. It could be like a few days later. So you can go there and try to get the time. You just have to submit your age and all that stuff. But the thing is, by the time you're ready to get it, it's probably open. So yeah, you can get it. It just happened, recently that CVS has a pretty full open schedule. It's either the Pfizer or the other one, Moderna. Yeah, Moderna. Yeah, but certain ones have the Johnson and Johnson too at CVS. It's hit or miss, but most of them, the thing with CVS is if you book it, you book your second one at the same time. They'll give you the second date right away, so you don't have to follow up like that. So it's pretty convenient. I got the one right here on Route 9. The one CVS in Newton Center is giving them too. They actually had a overage of Johnson and Johnson. So, but they had a Johnson and Johnson one. Yeah, but wherever you go, it's kind of whatever they have. So it could be a CVS, but they don't have it. Yeah. So, anyways, so let's do Yehikun again. It's a one shot for Johnson Johnson. But it tells you which ones you're going to get. It's a Pfizer. I'm getting the Pfizer one. No, no, you don't have a choice because they offer you the second date. That means it's not J&J. Right? If they're going to give you the second date, right? Turn, turn, and close. Okay. So a lot of us have We're going to either get the Pfizer or the Moderna. So the Johnson, so actually Stephen can give you the, the technicals on why it's different. The Johnson Johnson, what is a real vaccine, right? So it has the real virus in it. So you're actually getting injected with the virus, right? And then your system will do the same thing, right? Produce the so with the other one, the two-stage ones, it work it works on your immune system, and your T cells are supposed to be able to fight them off. So so what's the downside of the RNA one? Uh-huh. So, so the efficacy of that is it because it's just that your system might not deal with it as well, or yeah, or allergic. But I've heard that like in Europe and some of these places had blood clotting. AstraZeneca is not the Moderna or the Pfizer. Oh, yeah. So they had the blood. Oh, that's a British. So they had blood clots, and they were concerned with that. Yeah. So, but then, so far there's really no side effects. We'll find out in a few years if there's any side effects. After 50 million people got it, you say, well, there are side effects. What's the side effect? Well, it's on. It's on. Oh well. Anyways, so drink to death, right? Well, so actually, Caitlin was going to wait for the Johnson Johnson. Then I said, don't fuss about it, just take it. And she said, yeah. So then she's still doing it. She's going to take the Pfizer one anyways because she has an appointment. But for me, she said, hey, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm 70, so I, whatever. If there's a side effect, it probably will not affect me that many years anyways. Yeah, yeah. The only thing is I just don't have life insurance anymore. Oh, turn, turn. And close. So that's for COVID-1. Now let's do it for COVID-2. Okay, ready? Now let's do Tamona. Okay, so that's the one that is like that. Okay, ready? Okay, try again. Are we getting more comfortable with this? Okay, try again. One more time. We'll do sets of 3. Ready? Begin. Hup. just like all the other things that I talked about, is we always focus on the hands. So once you get the hand, basically, then you got to focus on your body positioning and form. So, we're looking for the center lines for the movements. So you try to balance your position. There's a 45 and a 45. Those are also muscle memory too. So you say, well, muscle memory, what's the muscle memory in this case? It's the muscle memory in your torso that knows that this is how much you're turning. The muscle memory in your hip, this is squaring the hip, this is opening to 45 degrees. Now you can't really go 45 degrees on that side unless you turn, and then you have 45 to turn. So that's a combination of the joints in your hips and your knees and your feet. When we stand like this at 90 degrees, and we pivot to 90 degrees like this is 90 in the corner, then we square it up. That's a square position. So those are joint angle positions, and your feet know to turn that much because the muscles know how much to contract and how much to release to get that. So that's lower body. Upper body has the same, ability. And then when you combine these different angular positions, that becomes a more complex thing, but it's still muscle memory. So it's really your proprioception that's controlling all of that. So the more we do it, the more it starts to, formulate into your body, so that when you go into a position, you know from here to here that you're square. And then if you turn, you're going to turn. If you're here, you go to your 45, and your leg would be turning, and then you go to here. So that's involves the footwork, it involves the hip position. Your hips have to turn in order to find your center or to move forward, because the relationship, so in all the internal arts or Tai Chi, they always talk about the qua. What is the qua? The qua is your hip area. The qua. The qua has to be loose. This area is very stiff in most people because most people don't use that in a relaxed way. Doesn't mean that you can't physically turn your hip, but we don't relax it. So in Tai Chi and your stance work, it requires releasing the qua, or the releasing of the hips, because if you don't release it, they can't complement each other and move as a relationship. So when I go forward and back, that's a relationship. When I turn or I drop and I turn, those are relationships between the two legs. So that's something that has to be actually experienced. You have to learn it and experience what it feels like. And I know a lot of us have like joint, discomfort, pain. So that tells you something too, but that's not a good, signaling. That's telling you that something is not right there. So it could be an inflammation, it could be an injury. So, but a lot of times it's because the body's not, relaxed to create those positions. So, like when you get out of bed, you could be, from sleeping in the wrong position, find out that the body's not right. And it needs to warm up. When it warms up, because of circulation, then things start to open up. And I assume it gets worse and worse the less you move and the older you get. Although some young people get out of bed and it's the same thing. They still stiff, but they maybe don't feel pain. So I think, a lot of people have back problems because they don't use their back and they don't turn it. So, that's a major, it's a big issue, in society. So otherwise it wouldn't be, I always joke about it, but the back company, that's all they sell is stuff to sort of, it doesn't fix it, it just puts you in a more comfortable position. So it's like all those massage chairs that are like $7,000 for one or something.